Whether you're a long-time subscriber or a casual lurker, someone who stumbled across this in the middle of the late-night YouTube doomscroll spiral, or someone who hates me but keeps watching anyway out of morbid curiosity. Yeah, you people exist, I know who you are. You're welcome here. No entry fee, no dress code, just a little bit curious and maybe a tolerance for rants. I figured it was time for a check-in, a little behind the scenes, and I've talked about this stuff and people aren't listening, so I thought I would give you some real talk and some real conversation. Also, check out my Pokemon shirt. But anyway, hi. So if you've been here for a while, you've noticed that I've changed formats. I started doing this probably towards the end of last year, but I really leaned into it this year. I've leaned into kind of essay style stuff. I read aloud the essay I've written, usually tackling something that's been rattling around my head like a pebble in a washing machine, and usually questions I don't have answers to, problems I've noticed, patterns I want to break, faults I want to test out loud. Think of me as cornering you at a party and saying, hey, have you ever noticed, except this time you can pause or click away when I get very weird about it and hyperfixated. So yeah, that's being honest. The essay format has been working for me creatively in a way nothing else has. I can sit down, I can just record with my Blue Yeti knockoff, and I can just do my thing. And it's great. It's freeing. It gives me a bit of energy to do stuff. And it's easier to edit audio. That's why I do a lot of voiceover only stuff, because it's easier to edit. It's easier to deal with, and the files are smaller. But honestly, it's helped me stay focused. I'm not spiraling into incoherent chaos. I give you something you can actually follow without having to decode what's going on in here in real time. And honestly, I like having a script. I like having a plan. It makes it easier for me to show up and know what I'm trying to say. And that's being really honest. I know authenticity is one of those overused words. Everyone's authentic. They're selling you a protein powder or a 12-step program and a morning routine for like $100. But for me, being real is the whole point. I don't want to perform a version of myself anymore. I want to be myself. Even if it means showing up tired, opinionated, confused, too online, awkward, especially awkward, because if you've been here long enough, you will remember the awkward. You will remember the awkward phases and that stuff. And, you know, those videos where I'm trying to figure stuff out in real time, and yeah, sometimes I get it wrong. Sometimes I ramble. Sometimes I overshare. You should see how I write. It's just fascinating. That's one thing I've promised myself. Whatever I put onto this channel, I just have to be unapologetically myself. And for those of you who show up and sit with me in this weird space, whether you're clapping, cringing, or kind of unsure how you got here in the first place, thank you. And I mean that. Thank you. Okay, let's talk about money, but the awkwardly money. Okay, this is uncomfortable. Yes, I have a Patreon. Yes, I have channel memberships. No, it's never been about the money. Believe me. I've been on YouTube long enough to know that if I wanted to make actual money, I would be doing something very different. I'd be reacting to TikTok videos, or starting drama for clicks, or becoming a faceless narrator of weird Reddit stories. That's the playbook, right? So, but instead, I'm here. I make slow-paced, thought-heavy videos with weird titles and thumbnails which just fit my OCD personality more than I should admit. And I'm not exactly the fast track to the mansion in LA with influencer friends and getting free glasses of champagne at Oreos events. I know that person. That said, Patreon and memberships do matter, because they let me make content that is uncensored. I can have conversations there that I can't have here, because let's be real, things like the podcast and stuff like that, YouTube would so punish me for. I want to be able to say what I want without worrying about being penalized by the Google algorithm gods. And that's being really honest. And yeah, of course, I wish more people were interested. I'd love that private feed to be this thriving little community of misfits and overthinkers and creative burnout talkers in late night sessions. But even if it's just a handful of you, that's more than enough. You're helping me create something weird and honest and a little rough around the edges, and that's what matters. More than I can say, actually. Which, most people don't understand that. Also, I do think I'm worth a cup of coffee a month. Maybe. And I don't mean a fancy oat milk triple shot thing. I mean a standard latte from some random cafe that probably hasn't been updated since 1982. So, that's me. I'm a random cafe that has been updated since the 80s. So, read into that what you will. Okay. Let's talk about this year. Because what even is 2025? We're somehow halfway through the year and it feels like I've lived 3 separate lives already. There's been highs and lows and some really weird sideways moments that I wasn't sure if I was thriving or completely falling apart. Probably both, depending on the hour. Mental health sucks. Medical stuff sucks. Family stuff sucks. But one of the constants has been this channel, this weird little corner of the internet where I get to unpack things that bother me, celebrate things I love, wrestle with stuff that doesn't make sense, and that's thanks to you. You keep my brain busy, you challenge me, you've made me think harder about stuff I already thought I had an opinion on, and for someone like me who needs a project, needs a question, needs something to pull apart, you don't realize how beneficial that is, so thank you. Here's something wild I've learned. Different platforms, different worlds. On my book blog, I can post a spicy opinion, people read it, they think about it, engage. They might disagree, they might do it with nuance, they leave thoughtful comments, it feels more like a conversation. On YouTube, or I can say maybe this thing is a little bit weird in the first sentence and people immediately sprint into the comments declaring war, like there's no time for context, no room for subtlety. People make up their minds in 5 seconds and that's it. And here's the bit that I have been kind of interested in. I've been experimenting with posting different types of content on my main channel and my second channel. My second channel is outperforming this one in terms of percentages, which is kind of hilarious, but also kind of freeing because it reminds me like this whole thing is just unpredictable and maybe I shouldn't take it so seriously. Because I did go through that I'm a serious person phase. Yeah, you've witnessed those videos and probably cringed as much as I do thinking back on them. So yeah, sometimes we can just have fun, and that's what it should be about. Okay, let's talk about the absolute chaos that is the YouTube algorithm for a minute. YouTube, as a platform, wants long-form content. It's out here begging for 10-minute deep dives and 20-minute essays and full-length documentaries, and people, well, what they say is watch time is king. The initial watch time, the reaction, and so on. But the audience want short, punchy, quick. If a video is longer than 5 minutes, they're out. And I can tell from my analytics that a good percentage of people that initially click on a video are out by the halfway mark. And that's true of everyone. Like, it's fun having conversations with other creators on the on Discord and things, and it's like, yeah, we all are experiencing the same thing, like every single one of us, and there's hundreds of people there. It's a weird tug of war, and I won't lie, by the way, I kind of do it myself. There are some videos I look at on a subject, and I'm like, oh, it's a 15-minute video, and think, do I really have this kind of time? Although there are certain people I will watch all the way through. It's, like I said, it's a tug of war. Creators are told go long, but the audience wants short, and I find that fascinating. Like, how do we make space for thoughtful content in a world that's speeding up by the second? I don't have answers, but I think about it a lot. Obviously, hence this video. Like, I love numbers, I love breaking them apart, I love percentages. I'm weird. I know, I'm weird. I'm weird. Okay. So yeah, that's where this channel is right now. I'm doing essays, I'm trying to think out loud, I'm posting weird videos that half the algorithm doesn't know what to do with. I'm wrestling with those weird contradictions of this platform, and I'm trying to keep things just me, even if it's a bit messy, and I'm so grateful you guys are here. Whether you watch everything or just dip in occasionally, whether you comment or just lurk, whether you agree with me or think I'm completely off base and completely weird, thank you. I'm not doing this to win, I'm doing this because I can't not do it. It's how I process the world, and I'm glad you're here while I'm trying to figure it out, one video at a time. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go off and write another essay about something that's been bothering me all week and probably no one asked for, but hey, that's kind of my brand, right? So see you soon or not, either way, I'm going to be here. And like I said, tell me what you think in the comments below.